Good morning. We'll call the DRC meeting to order for May 22nd, 2024. We'll start with roll call. Community Development is present. Police. Public Services.
Richard Earp, thanks.
Fire.
Jeremy Holderfield, thanks.
And Building.
John Hansen's here.
All right. We have two special events this morning. The first one is Christ International Church. The date is June 30th, 2024. It's at Kitland Nelson Park. And Lexi is here from Recreation.
All right, so the first event is the Christ International Church. They're looking to do a community outreach on Sunday, June 30th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They are just doing a community outreach event to survey the needs of the local community, connect the public to local services for food, housing, healthcare, and employment. It'll be at Kitland Nelson Park with an expected attendance of 200. There'll be live entertainment, food trucks, 4 8x8 tents. They are not planning on hiring a private security company as of now, but we'll notify them if they need APD. No alcohol. Parking will be at Edwards Field and the paved surrounding spaces.
Okay. Any questions from the Development Review Committee?
I'm going to assume all the insurance and everything is
Yep.
taken care of and everything. I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Community Development recommends approval. Police.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Public Services.
I don't have any questions, thanks.
Okay. Fire.
No questions.
And Building.
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. And the next one is, if I can get back to the agenda. Having some technical difficulties. Let's try again. Janubi Film and Entertainment Incorporated. And my computer's totally froze, so we'll just have to use our
Okay.
imaginations.
So, Junabe Film and Entertainment is looking to do a supporting missing women and children event on September 21st from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. They want to bring awareness to the issues women face in society, such as human trafficking, domestic abuse, mental health, single parenting, and mental health. The location of the event is the Apopka Amphitheater. They're expecting about 800. They will have live entertainment, food trucks, and about 25 to 50 vendors. They will be hiring a private security company and off-duty if needed. There will be no alcohol, and we will utilize Gate 5 for parking and work with our SP contract to facilitate parking.
Okay, we'll go around the DRC. Any questions or comments? Community Development has none. Police.
What was the anticipated attendance?
800.
Okay, thank you. I don't have anything else.
Public Services.
I don't have anything, thank you.
Fire.
No comments.
And Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the Ridge Parcel 9 Construction Site Plan. Second submittal, Jean Sanchez is the project manager. She is out today, so I'll be here in her stead for that one. There were no comments from Planning and Zoning. I don't believe the applicant is in attendance this morning. Oh, you are? Okay.
VHB,
If
George.
you don't mind just stating your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, George, 205 East, forget the address actually, Robinson Street, suit 300.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant from the DRC? Hearing none, we'll go around. Community Development recommends approval. Police.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Public Services.
Windsor put in, I don't know if he's put them in before or after our conversation this morning at about 8:10, but we have 3 comments. They're all related to, 2 of them are related to retaining walls. Although we found a retaining wall plan sheet, what Windsor didn't find, and he typically gets, is about a half inch to an inch thick report that looks at global stability and overturning and sliding and all those things that a wall could do to potentially fail. The structural engineer produces a report and runs the structural software, and it spits out the other end the confirmation that the wall is stable. And he couldn't find that in the project, and so if it's there, if you could let him know where it is, or if it's not there, if you could ask the structural engineer for it.
Okay. Believe we did provide that, so we can email it directly to Windsor or re-upload it.
Okay, or if you want to email him and just tell him, what the file name is. That's what I'm running to in OpenGov is a little bit of a thing where people are naming stuff weird and it's hard. You can't click on everything.
And I think you're exactly right. And I think if they would just name it like, say, site plan instead of 45 numbers and then site plan at the end of it or something, because they can go in and edit that.
Yeah,
And it would make it easier for everybody, I think. Yeah, I agree.
and it's not a big problem, but in this case, if you just and I found that if you just ask people, well, where is it? What do you want me to look at? And then they'll email me back. Oh, it's this. It's called plot plan revise 4 or something, and then I
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we uploaded the structural plans, the San Jose structural plans that were by Paperscapes, and we also uploaded a San Jose report from Devo Engineering that contained all the design parameters, stability analysis, and the details are provided on the construction plan. So it's a lot of items in a lot of places. I understand, so we can
Right.
respond back with that.
And that might be an explanation back to Windsor is that it would be unusual if the structural analysis is in the geotechnical report or a report that Devo Cereram would normally do, as far as I know, or at least it's submitted to the city. But he's certainly qualified to design retaining walls. So if it's in his report, if you could just let Windsor know to look for the Devo Cereram report, then he'll find it. It's normally we just get 2 separate ones, but he can personally do it all. So
Okay.
there's that, and there's a comment something about lining all of the force main manholes that is straightforward. Other than that, public service doesn't have anything else.
Okay.
Fire.
Lining the manholes and proximity to the force main. Okay. I would think that we would have had that noted, but yeah, that's
Okay.
absolutely.
It must be in our
Reasonable.
specifications manual somewhere.
Yeah. No, and typically, but
Fire.
No comments.
Building.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the Ridge Parcel 2 Phase 2 subphasing, third submittal. Don't believe there were any comments from planning and zoning on this one. We can go around with the DRC and see if there are any questions or comments for you. Police,
I don't have anything, thank you.
public services.
Well, hopefully it's a quick one on this, in that we're getting a lot of this in the city, where a project is broken into somewhere between 3 and 6 or 10 phases, and then as they sell off 20 lots here and 50 lots there, then they want to divide the 10 phases into potentially 12 or 15 phases, or maybe they'll find later they want to divide 2 phases, and it's just with the city's current staffing and workload, just kind of haphazardly, and I say haphazardly because city council didn't see it. So doing this sub-phasing idea at DRC and not having to go back to city council, because I would tell the city council members just that. I would say, look, they've already got however many phases this is, and now they're going to add another one in the middle of construction. I don't really want to. I'd rather both phases just wait to be finished, the infrastructure to be finished. I'm okay if you want to, as long as John's okay. If you have, in this case, 2 separate builders that both want to start building subdivision homes, from what I understand, I'm okay with 4 model homes for this one and 4 model homes for that one, and then wait until they finish the whole thing, and then they can go full bore. That's the way I think we should do it. So I don't support this revision.
I mean, the idea here, it's quite a bit of lots. The previous phases were the phase 1 was broken into 3. We're just gotten the COA on the third one. The second one, they're trying to break that into 2 to get COA so they can go and get building permits as soon as they finish 1 phase. They're able to start building homes. They're able to start, making profit on those. I think we've met all. We've addressed all the comments so far on that. Added the turn lanes on the entrance per Pam's direction. I think it was discussed that we had a conversation with Gene yesterday. She mentioned that they don't think that going to city council was necessary. So, I mean, what are the engineering concerns there that would stop us from making from subphasing this? I understand city staffing, might be a bit of an obstacle, but as far as engineering, or
So city council gets to see major development plan, and that shows a subdivision and it shows a number of phases. And I believe that city council is presented that these are the phases that will come in independently, and that's what city council has seen. And so with that, I consider that to be authority from city council so that I can issue a certificate of acceptance for each phase that city council saw, not multiple certificates of acceptance. So if city council saw one big phase and you want to divide it into twice, I got one. The land development code says I issue one certificate of acceptance for that. It doesn't say I have to issue 2 or 3 or 4 or subdivided into some number of things city council didn't see. So I understand planning and zoning's position of not bringing it back to city council. I recommend what you do is come up with plan so that you can get as far in the direction you want to as you can and finish the infrastructure before you start building more than 8 houses. So I don't understand why you won't do that. So if you could explain that to me in writing, and we could talk about it maybe Wednesday after next at DRC. I mean, we can have the discussion, but since this one already, how many phases is this development in already? Do you know?
so we had phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1's been subphase to 3 phases, A, B, and C. Those are done, and then phase 2 is being broken into 2, so 5 phases total.
5 phases in the one phase, or 5? Because there's some north and
5 in total. Yeah.
Between 1 and 2, he's saying that 5.
Yeah. So this last half of the site we're breaking.
So,
into
Richard,
2.
you like you say, you do 1 C of A per phase, correct?
yes, per phase that city council saw.
Okay,
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
And I don't think the code allows me to do other than that. And maybe we'll change the code someday. I've heard there's been a couple ideas recently,
Okay.
but right now that's what it says.
Sure.
So I got to follow it.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is the purpose of the additional phases? I mean, why do you need them? Just so you don't have to complete all the infrastructure before you start building?
Yeah, I mean, my understanding of this, you got certain number of lots done. You have everything completed for it. Typically, they want to start building on those, start selling those lots, and just because of the large size of the project, that does make a difference.
Because from a public safety perspective, I stated this before, is these phasings create issues because now you are driving construction vehicles through the occupied homes and residents. And, I'd like to see the land development code changed to where if you want to phase it, you have to have a different entrance than the entrance that your community uses. Because you have all this traffic now going through occupied homes, and the more phases we have, the more that opportunity that has to occur. So
Let's see. Don't know if yeah, we have the construction entrance, but by the time phase 1A is done, 2A is done. No, in reality, yeah, if you could zoom in onto that.
Well, while he's zooming, I'll let you know another thing that if you do go to city council, what I'm going to want to see is the something that follows the Alta East Shore model, where it's a phased plan where each phase has a standalone sheet that says here are the roads in this phase, and here's where the fencing is going to be, and here's where the fire truck's going to turn around for phase 1. Phase 2 includes phase 1 and 2, but now the whole thing needs to demonstrate that they meet all those needs. Again, where the fencing is going to go, where the public's going to be kept out of. And so we have that Alsta East Shore example that was very clear to me that we did several years ago. And Margaret or Planning and Zoning could probably, or Susan Bones, certainly the city clerk could get you a copy of that phase and plan.
Alta East Shore.
Yes. And there's been other ones, but that was kind of the original one where we set kind of, in my mind, the template for how to do this right if we're going to do it. And in that case, I think it did go back to city council when we divided some phases. I'm not sure about that part.
A question: if you're going to do a subphase, would you have to plat the subphase?
Yeah, we would do that. I think platting is actually in progress already.
Okay, so the plat already depicts the subphase, or not?
Yes.
It does.
I mean, it's progress and it hasn't been approved and recorded yet, but
Okay.
yes, it's ongoing. And that's how we've done 1A, B, and C. They're all 1A and 1B were platted together because originally that was going to be one phase, and then 1C was platted separately.
Okay.
And,
Well, yeah, I mean, that sounds like your critical path to me. You're not going to get the first building permit, I don't think, or maybe you'll get one, but not two if if the whole thing is one platted lot and you haven't subdivided it into lots yet.
right. Yeah. Yeah. So the plat is phased as well.
Yeah, I definitely don't see, because city council wouldn't. I mean, city council will get a plan for a plat for half of what they approved, and I would think their question would be, well, we approved this as a single phase, and now you're presenting it to us in two halves, which we haven't seen. I think I've said enough, but thank you.
Okay. Fire department,
No comments.
building.
I disagree with Richard on the phasing thing. I just back him on that.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I mean, if we do want to take this to city council, what would be the process?
You would have to do an amendment to the application, and then take it forward. We've already gone through the plan or development review. The phasing would have to go, I believe, through planning commission and city council. I know the plat has to. So that would be probably the process.
Okay.
Just you could follow up with an email to us, and we can do a little bit more research as to how to take that. But that would be my understanding, was it would just to go to planning commission and then city council for
Okay.
one hearing each.
All right.
Any other questions? Do you have any other questions of us, of the DRC?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is plat Hammock at Rock Springs. This is the project that was approved some years ago off of Rock Springs Road. They obtained an emergency extension from the governor on this one. They've submitted the plat. I believe it's an 18-lot subdivision. I'm the project manager on this. The comment going back to the developer is they have not applied for school concurrency yet on this. So the plat can't go forward until they get an approval for school concurrency from Orange County Public Schools. Or if there's a denial of concurrency, they would have to enter into a concurrency management agreement that would be approved through the school board and the city council. In addition, the city surveyor and the city attorney had numerous comments on this one. Applicant's not in attendance this morning, so community development disclosed comments on that. Police, any questions or comments?
So, yeah, I'm like totally confused. Again, if they haven't complied with everything, I'm not sure why we're even looking at it. Just tell them it's not coming here, it's not moving forward until they comply with everything. I don't think they have to do we have to bring these things here
Yes.
when they're not in compliance with what they need to do?
Yes, it's part of the process outlined in the land development code.
Then I'll just say that I don't have any recommendations that it goes forward until they comply with all the requirements.
All right. Public Works. or
I agree with
Services?
Chief.
Okay. Fire.
I also agree with Chief.
Okay. And building.
I don't have anything else. Thanks.
Okay. Next item is a request for List Industries construction site plan. As you might recall, this is over off of Orange Avenue. It was approved a couple years back they make lockers for schools there. And what they have requested is through the emergency order of the governor, an extension of the approval of the construction site plan. This is brought to DRC really more as a formality, as the governor's decree allows them to do this. But with that, we can go around the DRC or any questions or comments. Community development has none. Police.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay. Public services.
I'll just mention it to ask Jeremy. There's no problem. This is across the street and down. It's to the, if you're looking at the front of the building where the gate to go in is, it's to the left over by Orange and 441. It's kind of over in that direction. Are there any issues over there other than I know we had talked about a bunch of asphalt in the right of way that people are just sort of parking on or doing whatever. I mean, we'll make sure when they build this that they get rid of all that. But I don't know. I just thought I'd mention to you if there's some other issue.
I have no other issues.
Yeah, I don't have any other issues.
Okay. Fire. Any questions, comments aside from what was just discussed?
No comments.
Okay. Building.
I don't have anything. Thanks.
Okay. I believe that's the last item on the agenda. Anybody have anything for discussion?
Just Bobby, go ahead.
I have about 4 things. I just wanted to see John's
Okay,
face.
number one, go ahead, hurry.
No, but I do have a point was brought up by Richard, and I agree with him about sometimes it's difficult to find certain things, and they're labeled different and everything else. Can we move, and this may be a question for you, John, OpenGov to something similar like a lot of the other programs have now is download site plan here, download architectural designs here, download so that it's in some kind of order, and they should be loading what we need and what we want in a particular space instead of just uploading it willy-nilly wherever and in whatever order they have.
What I might can do is go into your, like where you do your site plan stuff and just, like I do for the building permits I have where we have, survey, foundation survey, final survey, and just go in there and label it like that. Sometimes they still mess it up, but that might be a way to go to try it, streamline it a little bit better.
You understand what I'm saying, though? You go to a lot of sites now,
Yeah.
and they say download photo of such and such here, upload, design plans or architectural plans, landscape plans, and here, so that it's in an order and it's titled what we are referencing instead of what they're referencing.
Yeah, I think we can work with that. Yeah.
I guess that's all I have.
And,
I was waiting on items 2 through 4.
That was just to see the look on someone's face.
So I've got one just heads up for next week. Windsor King isn't comfortable sitting up here. I'll be on vacation. He's going to be in the audience. If there's, he's going to introduce himself around, but I let him know today that someone may say that, he's in the audience. If someone wants to get in touch with public services or introduce themselves or request a meeting or whatever, then he'll be here for that. That's all I had.
Okay. Anything else, John?
Nope, nothing else. Thanks.
All right. We are adjourned.